And with that, I'll hand it over to Alicia. Welcome, Alicia.
Hi, thanks, Misty. Hi, thanks everyone for practicing today. It's so incredibly beautiful outside. So thanks for taking 45 minutes out of the beautiful day for some self-care. As always, we can start sitting. You could start lying on your back if you want. Just so you find a comfortable shape and that the space around you is safe. So make sure, right, kind of just look that there's no books or cords or anything super slippery that you might slip on, all right? And then we'll just take about the first, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes just to find some centering, let our bodies slow down. Just giving ourselves time to transition into a place of more just ease and calm. And so if you're sitting, if you're lying down, maybe you're standing up, just feeling for a moment the shape of your body. And then coming inward into the shape. So noticing from the inside out. And as we open this connection and awareness from the inside out, taking 3 longer breaths. So again, deep breath meaning inside to outside breathing. So nice long inhales and exhales. And then as we take maybe 5 more breaths here, what would it feel like if your bones were breathing? So the shape of your bones, staying either straight, sitting or lying back or standing, right? Feeling the shape of your bones. And then what if your bones were breathing? What would that feel like to you in your body? And this connection, right? Feeling inside to outside, bones, having that sense of space and mobility, of breath. And then relaxing through your skin, letting your clothes receive that breath. Take about 5 to 8 breaths here. So breathing from the inside out, bones breathing. Feeling the breath through the body, releasing skin and clothing. Lets go and relaxes. Let's take the next 3 exhales out your mouth. Just full commitment exhale, let the breath go. And then with the next exhale, as you feel the breath go out, you can gently let your eyes open. We're actually going to come all the way on up and stand right away today. So we're going to skip getting down on our backs and we're going to come on up. I thought we would do a little bit of balance. So if you have a chair, I have a chair close to help me with my balance. If you feel you want to have a chair close, you could grab a chair. Maybe you're lucky enough to be really close to a wall, so you could put your mat by a wall. Or you could have nothing, okay? But just so you have an option if you need some help. Okay, so I'm gonna go stand next to the chair. And we're just gonna practice standing for a moment, right? And so if you are standing just nice and casual, right? We're gonna come back to that imagery of feeling your body in space, okay? So if you were gonna look from the outside at your body, what would it, right, look like to you? You might have a little mental landscape of yourself standing. And then coming back inward, right? What do your bones look like, feel like in this shape of standing? Connecting to your body breathing. Right? What would it feel like for you if your bones were breathing, right? It sounds a little silly, but it's a really nice way to help us draw awareness, right, into our bodies. So, right, we know that we breathe through the lungs, but what if our bones, right, were like lungs, right? And our bones were breathing. They were really strong, right? We could breathe, and then we could let go through the skin. We could let go through our clothing a little bit. We'll take 3 breaths. And then with your next exhale, try not to look down. Just see if you can feel your feet, okay, without looking down. So maybe you have shoes on or socks, maybe you're barefoot. So feeling, right, your toes, you could wiggle your toes. Toes connect into the balls of the feet. Balls of the feet go through the arches into the heels. And then just shifting the weight forward a little bit. Your heels might lift up a little bit, and then shifting the weight back. Your toes might lift up a little bit. So just, right, what's it feel like to move, say, from the center of gravity, so you can reconnect into this lower center of gravity. And then you could go a little bit side to side. A little bend in the knees, right? So I know when I go over on this left side, I can feel, right, certain muscles really getting a little more like, ooh, I have to work, and other muscles going, ooh, I'm gonna relax. So make this a little more like an experiment, right? If you go over to the right, what turns on? What do you feel? If you go back, if you go forward, we'll just take a little bit more time here. And then we'll coast back, right, to just good old strong stance. Okay, so we talk a lot about the importance of working and being aware of this area in our bodies, okay? So we have this big, strong, deep muscle that runs around, right? Sometimes we refer to it like a cummerbund, right, or a corset. I like to think of it a little bit like an ace bandage because it still is movable, okay? It's pliable, it has give, all right? So we're gonna really think about this and feel this a little more in our bodies, okay? Because this muscle, right, as it wraps around is gonna help support so we're not doing a lot of this uncontrollably, okay? These movements are great if we're in control of them, but, right, if we're leaning back and then all of a sudden kind of go like that, right, that might hurt our backs, okay? So just, right, as we move through some of these balances, as we move through some of these postures, staying in relationship with this area, okay? So legs are gonna come parallel. We're gonna stay in relationship to this. We're gonna try and let the arms just hang out of the ears. And then from right here, you're gonna shift the weight into the balls of the feet and really slowly lift your heels. You might come high, high, high. You might not come very high. And then we're gonna pull the heels back behind you and lower them down. I have a little bend in my knee. You might have a little more straight, okay? You can work on it in different ways. You might do a couple heel lifts with more straight in your knee. You might work, right, with your heel lifts with a little more bend. Where do you feel more balanced and really more connected, right, through these muscles? I'm gonna do about 3 more. Okay, I noticed, right, when I lifted my heels, I started to get really tight up here. So I'm really different than you. This is where I really grip when I kind of feel like I'm gonna fall. So if that's you, right, if something's similar, there's a relationship too, right? So the more I can connect through here, the more anchored, solid, steady I feel, and the less I feel I have to really grip into my shoulders and my neck, okay? So just check, right? We're all really different. So it's very unique for you. And you're gonna find that place where your heels can lift a little bit. Maybe your knees have a little bend. Maybe they're pretty straight. We're just gonna balance on the balls of our feet. You need to hold on to something, right? Don't hesitate. And just count and feel, right? 3 breaths again from the inside out. Right? Strong, breathable bones, skin, close, relaxed, right? We don't have to hold this from our skin. And then with your next exhale, let your heels come down. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of a challenge. You're gonna come up on your balls of your feet again, lift your heels, and then we're just gonna do a little squat. We're just gonna bend and straighten the knees a few times, okay? You can hold on if you need to. Again, right, really up to you how far you want to go down. Try to keep your heel up a little bit. If that's just, right, a little too hard, don't worry about it. Bring your heel down. Maybe you do a couple with your heels down, and then you do a couple with your heels up, okay? We'll do 4 more. Don't have to bend very much, right, to get some benefit, to feel, to notice. If you're wobbling, that's okay, right? Wobbling's all part of it. And then we'll come up, just stand again, heels come down. And just give yourself a moment, recenter yourself. Right, we talk a lot about grounding. This is a really nice place to anchor, find a little more grounding. You might use that imagery of an old growth tree, right? Roots really deep and wide. Strong bones, breathing from the inside out. Let's take 2 breaths. Right, and then let's step your feet wide. So you can go wide, heels are gonna come in and toes are gonna go out, okay? So right here again, right? Just give yourself a moment to feel your legs anchor, right? Legs connect up into your core. Right? So again, this relationship, right? A little more challenge. We're going to use those points of contact, ears, shoulders, and hips. And then we can bend, we can exhale, bend, inhale, come up. Okay, so we'll just do 3 like this. Okay, now if you want more challenge, when you come back up, don't look down, just feel the balls of your feet and your toes again. Ground through the balls of your feet, right? Down creates up, you're gonna go down and your heel's gonna naturally flow up a little bit. Doesn't have to be really high, right? There's so much benefit in having your heel just barely off the floor and then going down. Inhale, come up. Follow your breathing. Exhale. Inhales come up. Let's do 5 more. Heels up or heels down. Gentle reminder, knees go straight out over your toes. My legs, right, are strong and my bones are really wobbling. They're shaking. This adds to me needing to be a little more concentrated, right? I really need to concentrate and focus. When you feel it's been 5, then your heels come down. You come back up to standing. You're going to keep your legs wide, okay? Reconnect into this area, front, side, back. Bring your arms out in front. Just a few times, bringing your arms out wide, bringing your arms forward, okay? So nice and strong through your rectangular core area. Spine doesn't need to move a lot. Again, a practice in, right, feeling what you can't see, shoulder blades on your back, okay? So your shoulder blades back here, just feeling, right, a little more connection to that right and left shoulder blade as you open and close. Let's do 3 more. And then you can just bring your arms down. You roll your shoulders out a little bit, shake it out, okay? Okay, so we're just gonna take a fork in the road and be a little creative with this movement, okay? So you're gonna have your legs out wide. You're gonna put the sumo squat and the arm movement together, okay? So however you wanna do it, right? But we're all gonna stay strong, go pretty slow, and really try and stay in control, okay? So you can bend, you can lift your heels a little bit, okay? So you can go down and pull, right? In and up as your arms go out, go down, right? Maybe you're doing it like this, right? Everyone's gonna have their own way of doing it. Do it your own way. Limbs connect to core. Movement to breath. So breath, move. 3 more. Heels up or heels down. Right, on your 3rd one, you could come down and balance and just move the arms in and out a few times. So a few to me is 3, a few to you might be 5. Yes, my legs are really, really, really shaking. Great, and then when you're finished, whew, come on up. Maybe you're still going, finish up. You're gonna step your feet together. Stand. Recenter, reground. We'll take a 5-breath standing meditation. You could use your breath as an anchor. Maybe use your posture. You could use the visualization of your bones breathing. The visualization of an old growth tree, strong and anchored. And with your next exhale, just notice all the breath leaving. And letting your eyes open if they're closed. All right, so we're standing nice and tall, okay? So we stand nice and tall, but not, right? It doesn't have to be really rigid, right? So it can be a sense, right? Like your skin's relaxed, your clothes are relaxed. You can feel that strength and density of your skeleton, right? Helping to support the shape that you're in, all right? So this gentle reminder, right, that our legs, right, connect into the hips, right? So here's your hip socket. We're gonna, right, just wanna connect a little more of the legs in, right? So legs are a connection, right, back into this area. And the arms connect into the shoulder sockets. Okay, so we have this nice, strong area. And we have these distal, right, strong limbs, all right? So as we balance in this next one, we're gonna anchor down through the left side. Just gonna pick up your right heel and just feel that shift, okay? So just, right, picking up your right heel, there's like a big subtle shift, right, in your body. You might stay right here. You might start to come onto your tiptoes. you might pick up your right knee a little bit, okay? What we want to do is make sure that as we lift this right knee, it's really strong in the hip socket. So you can pull it up as high as you want, but you have to hold it independently in the hip socket, okay? Make sure, right, that you're still really strong in that left side. If your habit is to lock your left knee, just check that you haven't totally locked it out, right? And then we're gonna balance. And some of us, right, I have to take my arms out to balance here. Maybe you're doing that. Arms connecting nice and strong into your body, right? Into your upper back. You might go into a Y. You might go into an I. Right? Hold. We'll take 3 more breaths. You can be right here, right? Where are you? Noticing, right? Noticing all the subtle wobbles, and then come down and shake it out. Okay, so coming all the way back, quick review, right? Remember the importance of these muscles, okay? So when you pick up your opposite leg, what started to happen in my body, and I'm going to assume it happened for some of you, right? The higher I went, the more I kind of tipped back. I wasn't really in a lot of control here, right? And that might not be so great on my back. So really, right, remember this connection. So your leg, the higher you lift it, right, the more you might have to really concentrate on that leg pulling up, getting stronger through this connection, all right? So even when we're down here, we don't want to, like, right, uncontrollably fall back. 1, it's really scary. 2, might not be super great on our middle backs, low backs. So you're gonna come up, find your balance. One little tip that helps me, I don't know if it'll help you, I feel a little stronger if I lean forward a little bit, put a little more weight in the ball of my foot, and then think of my heel grounding. I don't know if that helps you, because I tend to go in my heel and then do this. Woo! So little weight in the front of the foot, and then put it down and shake it out. All right, so let's just take your feet wide. I'm gonna do it sideways. We're gonna just give a little stretch through here, okay? So feet are gonna come wide, little bend in your knee, okay? Really strong again through here. So try not to push your rib cage forward. Just take your pubic bone forward and let your hips tip back, and just push your thigh bones back a little bit. Get a little stretch through the front of the hip, okay? Shoulders can draw back nice and strong. 2 breaths. And then with your exhale, from your abdominals, pull yourself back up. Sweet, step your feet together. Great, shake that all out. Okay, we're gonna find a high lunge, okay? So feet are together, legs nice and strong in your hip sockets, arms nice and strong in your shoulder sockets. You're gonna balance a little bit on your right leg. If you want, you can lift it really high again. And then this left leg is gonna step way back, and you're gonna build a high lunge. If you need a chair for balance, grab one, okay? So 2 hip bones facing more or less straight like a railroad track. Shoulders, right, stack over hips. Ears stack over shoulders. Remember this area, okay? Stretch out this hip flexor. You're gonna push that left leg back. Okay, and then we're just gonna bend and straighten your right knee 3 times. It doesn't have to bend very much. Hold on to something if you need to. Okay, if you want more challenge, you're gonna do 3 more and lift that front heel, just that piece of paper. Keep that left back leg really pressing back. Keep it in your awareness. Pause in your lunge. Let your front heel come down. Bring your hands right to your lower ribs. Reconnect. Take an exhale and feel these muscles. Maybe take your arms up. It's going to be a little bit like a lunge balance. You have to hold on, hold on. Good. With your next inhale, breathe into your back ribs. And then we're going to step forward and balance on your right leg. So you're going to shift the weight slowly and come up to this balance. Okay, so you can put your toes down if you need. Keep your knee up. Keep your pelvis, right, straight. Keep your belly button straight. And then take this leg and open it out to the left and just let it hang here. Okay, then you can do little pulses. You can lift up and tap down. Good. Got it, you got it, you got it. And then you're gonna find tree pose. So your tree might be here. Your tree might be up here. Okay, you know, you might have to hang on. You might take your arms out wide, right? What's happening right through your midsection, right? Get strong there. Notice maybe you take your arms up, right? Like that old growth tree, anchoring roots, 2 breaths. Great, and then that left leg comes down. You can shake it all out, rub it all out. Okay, so just kind of shake that side out. All right, so if you're using a chair, you might have to move your chair over to the other side. Okay, you're gonna start your balance. So how does your balance start, right? With a foundation. You have to build the foundation. That foundation comes from bones, breathing, okay, grounding. Right heel can lift up, right? Maybe you're lifting your knee a little higher, getting really strong through this, right, midsection. Build your lunge. Okay, take as much time as you need, right? Feeling out your hips, ribs, shoulders, ears. Right thigh bone pushes back. You can work on bending and straightening that left knee a few times. It doesn't have to bend a lot. If you want more challenge, 3 times lift your left heel just that little tiny bit, just like a piece of paper, not very high. Hold on to something if you need to. Build your high lunge and pause, bring your heel down. Okay, where do you feel stability and strength? Can you let your skin, can you let your clothes relax? Maybe taking your arms up. 2 breaths. Okay, as you transition, right, go slow enough you can really feel, right? You can feel the weight shift. Pick up your right knee, right? You can keep your toes down and lift up. Great. It's okay if this hip bone hikes up a little bit, that's okay. Just try not to push it out too much, okay? So this hip bone's lifting up a little bit, that's okay. Then you're gonna take it out and hold it there, right? It can be way down here too. You're gonna tap it 3 times. Remember, your belly button needs to stay pretty much forward. Nice and strong through your cummerbund, right? Then you're gonna find your version of tree. Everyone's tree is gonna be different, right? You build, plant, root your own tree for 3 breaths. Right? If you're having a challenging time balance, push your legs together. So really, right, push the legs together, root, down, creates that, right, lift up. Right? And that right leg can come down and can shake it all out. And we're just gonna stand again, standing meditation, maybe 5 full inhales and 5 full exhales. All right, shake it out. All right, so I'll step back so you can see my head now. I step forward like this so you didn't have to see my oh no, I'm gonna fall over face when we're trying to balance. All right, so we're gonna start at the back of your mat, or right, just towards the back. So you have a little bit of walk room, okay? And so we're gonna balance walk. All right, we're gonna start by just standing and moving your arms first. So trying to stay really connected through your core we're just gonna swing the arms, okay? So, arms have rotation. We really wanna just check and make sure we're working from that automatic place of rotation. So as your arm goes back, it's gonna swing internally, okay? So it's gonna have a feeling of rolling in a little bit. And when your arm goes out, it's gonna externally rotate, okay? This can be really confusing. So if you're like, what? I'm not sure, I don't really understand. That's really normal. It's a little confusing. So, right, arm goes back, it's gonna roll in the socket. So your palm faces up like you were gonna hand a baton back in a relay race. When your arm goes forward out in front of you, right, it rolls this way, your palm faces up, okay? And again, right, not this, right? We really want to control. So again, there's that connection through that cummerbund, corset, ace bandage, muscle. Okay, then you're going to balance a little bit just by picking up the opposite leg to arm. So as your right arm comes up, lift your left knee, right? And we're just going to do this a little bit like your dead bug, but it's standing. And then you're going to try, right, to really slowly, mindfully step forward and come up and step forward, right? And do this. And then turn around, right? And go back. And we'll end up at the back of your mat, which is now the front of your mat. And then we'll turn around. Right? And then we'll just pause. All right, so nice and strong standing. You're gonna pick up your right heel, pick up your right knee. Little more challenging, okay? You're gonna take the opposite arm up, the opposite arm back, right? So right arm goes back, left arm lifts. Now maybe you're gonna tip forward a little bit, right? Try to keep your pelvis level. Come up and step forward, okay? Tip forward a little bit. Come up, step forward, right? So you're going forward, tipping a little bit. It's really hard with the opposite arm, right? Go slow. Most importantly, you feel safe. And then turn around and try it to the back, okay? So you might have to adjust your arms. Right? One thing that really helps me with balance that might help you, I don't know, is if I take it too seriously, I fall every time. I have to have a little more like lighthearted, like it's okay to wobble, it's okay to tip over. So maybe, I know for me it's more mindset than anything. So give yourself a break, right? When you get back to the back of your mat, give yourself a big internal hug. You did it, right? Yeah. Balancing can be really hard, and we can be really hard on ourselves if we get wobbly. So that wasn't the point. The point was just to kind of test it out, feel different muscle groups working, okay? So then when you get to the back of the mat, pause, recenter, reground, give yourself 5 breaths. You deserve a big hug, so if you want to take your arms right out wide and come around and give yourself a hug, definitely bring your arms around. Wherever your hands land on your body, you can just really surrender, feel, notice the breath right there underneath your hands. 3 breaths. Great, and then we're going to exhale and take your arms out wide. Pick up your right leg and cross it over. Right arm's going to cross underneath the left. You might stay right here, okay? Top elbow and bottom elbow. You might come here so their knuckles are coming together. You might wrap one more time so your palms are coming together, right? You might also let all that go and come right here. So lots of options. All of us need to connect right back into your cummerbund corset ace bandage. All right. If you want, remember, shins can come forward a little bit and you can come here. Okay. 3 breaths. Follow the exhale and then unwrap. Take your arms out and up. Pause. Left leg comes over. Right? Left arm comes underneath. Build your eagle. Build this shape. Concentrate. Feel. Control. Right? Maybe you're coming here. Okay. 3 breaths when you get into your eagle. Third exhale, let it all go. And just come on up and take 5 breaths and stand. Okay, we're gonna do 2 full sun salutations. So if you wanna use a chair for your sun salutation, you can use a chair, okay? So you don't have to go all the way down to a downward facing dog on the floor. You could put it right like here and you could just fold to here. You could also sit and do the sun salutation in the chair, okay? I'm gonna do them from the back of my mat. So we're gonna start at the back of the mat. You're gonna take 3 breaths just to find your comfortable, right, strong shape. Notice your bones. Try and let your skin enclosed relax. And then with an exhale, it's a big sweep out to come up with your arms. Inhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Exhale, lift your chest. Good, fold. And then walk your hands out, downward facing dog, or if you want, tabletop. If you're using a chair, finding your chair, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Pull your hip creases back. We'll all take 3 breaths. Nice, full, deep breath. Remember, breathing from the inside out. If you want more challenge, pull yourself forward to a straight arm plank or a tabletop. You can do this on the chair as long as you have a really strong, solid chair. Little more challenging, make sure you feel the back of your legs nice and strong. So your hamstrings, right, pressing up. You might bend your elbows a millimeter or an inch. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Then with your exhale, hands and feet walk together. Then you press down, wait for your exhale, come all the way on up. Inhale, arms to your side. Here we go, 1 more. Exhale, arms float out to come up. Inhale, bend your knees.